Hello, this is Enlightened Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and for listening to my channel. It's a true honor to read for you, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, we are doing a message. This is an urgent message from your spirit guides. This is a message that's meant to find you. It is your message to be interpreted however you want, but regardless, one of these four piles down here is going to hold something that you're supposed to hear. So I am excited to get into this reading. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on these cards for you, and as you can see, these aren't crystal cards. These are Sacred Destiny Oracle cards, and they have four beautiful pictures. The captions, I'll read them. This one is wisdom. This one's enlightenment, flexibility, and patience. So if one of those captions means more to you than the other, or if a picture stands out to you, that's your pile. We have excuse me, 4 rune cards up here, and this will kind of set the tone for your reading. And then we're going to turn some tarot over. Oh my goodness. So sorry. So please, let's zoom in on these guys just a little bit if this does anything. And you can pick your favorite picture, favorite caption. Again, this is wisdom, enlightenment, flexibility, and patience. And I will have these timestamped below, and you can go ahead and jump to your reading. All right. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye. Pile 1, thank you so much for being here. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and I'm very happy to be reading for you. I'm starting to ask anyone that's here to please subscribe as I try desperately to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's definitely taking a minute, but if you would subscribe if you haven't already, thank you so much. And then liking and commenting also helps get me noticed, so thank you. Okay, on with your reading. Pile 1, you picked wisdom, and oh my goodness, the whole point of this reading is an urgent message from your spirit guide. So this card's beautiful. It definitely has this under the sea theme to it, and not so much in like a Little Mermaid-esque kind of way, but in a deep depth of wisdom that, you know, resides under the surface. So we're going to get into that. Your rune card is Ruse, and I did look this up, so I acted like I had no idea what it was, but I did know what it was. I just read about it. And Ruse is its strength, its creativity, its vitality, its health. And I want to say that I want this to be you right now. I want to see that you're strong right now. You're healthy. You're vital. I really want the case to be that you aren't here because you're feeling physically ill or down. I actually think you're in a pretty good place. In fact, I think you're in such a good place in other aspects of your life that you're now ready to explore kind of like other depths. In other words, you're not stressed about your physical appearance, your physical feeling. You don't necessarily have these aches or pains or ailments that you're focusing on. There's something else you want to start exploring, these other depths. And I get this because, like, if I have pain in my back, or if I have a feeling that kind of chips away at me, that's my focus. That's where I, wake up in the morning and think about. If I'm stretching, I'm like trying to work out that kink. But then if I have a good day or a good week where, let's say, I don't have any kinks or my back doesn't hurt, then I go somewhere else and I start to focus on other things. And I feel like you're really on this path right now where there's wisdom that's just going to start, I don't know, like revealing itself to you, or you're on a different kind of quest right now. And so far, the urgent message from spirit guides is that it is time to go a little bit deeper. And let's find out what the message is when you do go a little bit deeper, because that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a whole message here for you once you go a little bit deeper. Okay, so I'm going to turn over some oracle cards to kind of get this, oh my gosh, okay, get this going. I just put lotion on and I feel like my hands are either sticky or slippery, I'm not sure. Okay, so here we go with an oracle card. Okay, so we have magic and we have sadness. Okay, let me just turn over and let's just see where we're at. Okay, completion west. just with these oracle cards, trying to kind of discern the message here. And to me, there's this, I feel like you're ready to start exploring. And I think the message from your spirit guides is there's something about you needing to look deeper, you needing to start questioning things, like you're at a point in your life where you can handle more challenge, more experience, more depth, more substance. There really is a message here about like, it's time to be a little less surface, a little less trivial. One of the reasons I'm saying this is because I really do feel like you've conquered or you've achieved quite a few things, like from a physical standpoint. Like maybe you really are quite healthy right now. Maybe you're fit. And by healthy, I mean, yes, you look good, but you're good. Your body's good. It's working for you. And like I said, you're not giving energy to that. And I feel like you're now ready to take on a different level. And this is Spirit's message for you. So there is something you need to explore. There are places you need to go. This is either going to be a message, or a reading revealing that you need to like travel, but there's something else you need to start looking into. Almost like there's this, I just get that there's this quest for you. And you know, like when you see Go West, you think of this, people explored the West. It was this, not only, I wouldn't say it was tremendously unknown, it was just kind of like uncharted. Like there was so much there, and it was a place where people found, you know, hope and riches and this whole frontier to explore. And I kind of feel like that with Under the Sea. There's this vastness that has always been there for you. It's been right in front of you, and now you're ready for it. So these two cards up here, the magic, I do feel like this is a sign to me that you're ready to take on just more wisdom, more messages. There's insight that wants to reach you. There are gifts, I believe, from Spirit they're ready to find you. And maybe before you were sad, maybe you have come out of a slump, maybe you've been working on things that would have held you back from receiving these messages properly. And I think now you're really in a place where you can take them and like process them and turn it into something. And maybe those messages will be revealed here, maybe they won't, but I really want to say that to me, there's a very big takeaway that you're ready. You've reached like a point in your life where you're like a milestone in a way. And I've said this in other readings before, and I don't always feel it, but like, you know, they say like every 7 years, our cells or our body or something like kind of like regenerates. Like we're on this 7-year pattern where everything can change health-wise. Like, I don't know, if you have straight hair, it can go curly, or if you're have a slow metabolism, you can have a fast metabolism. Like everything can switch up after 7 years. And I just kind of feel like you're at one of those phases, whether it is a 7-year milestone or it's just whatever. You woke up one day and it's like, okay, this is your fresh start, and you're ready for it. So, okay. If that message spoke to you, which I really hope it did, I want to get some tarot. I want to see you. I do want to see you right now, and I want to see you as we're like ready to take on this new direction. I want to see you. So we have 4 of Wands, 7 of Wands, and King of Cups. So to me, this is like you're ready for. This is almost like we're setting, there's a celebration, and this celebration to me would be either your spirit guides, your family, your friends, you and your pets, but there's some kind of like send off. Like you're going to have this, almost like this aha moment where you're like, okay, things have just shifted. Things have just changed. I now have a different purpose. And I see that with this celebration card and the 4 of Wands. And I think people are going to support you in this, whether you consciously have this conversation with them like, hey guys, I'm no longer going in this direction. I'm doing this. I'm now want to really study this. I want to learn about this. I don't know if everyone's going to gather around you and like pat your back and say, yay, it's time. Or if it's just going to be for you this moment when you're like sipping coffee in the morning and you're like, that's it. that was like my send off, and here we go, I'm now doing this. Or it could be dinner with your family. I don't know, but I really do believe that there will be a moment that to you will feel like a celebratory moment of moving forward and moving on. And I think you've waited for this. And, you know, for me, like this reading, I always get excited when I have a reading that I can like just attribute to my own life. And even if it's not my own exact experiences, it's something I would have liked to have received, because I can picture this message, and this message would come like either after a slump where you're completely ready to move on and focus on something else and think about something else and put your energy towards something else. Or this can come when things have been like good, but also status quo, where like maybe nothing good or bad has happened to you. Like you're fine. Like I said, your body doesn't hurt. You're feeling healthy. You're feeling good. You look in the mirror, you like what you see. Your animals are healthy. Your family and friends are healthy. Like everything's good, and yet nothing really exciting is happening. This to me is like that next level. This is that like, okay, now we're going to start exploring. You're probably going to feel a lot more emotion. And you're going to see things differently. You're going to process things differently. And this is your message. And the wisdom card, yeah, wisdom's great. It's exciting. We all want to know things. I guess we all want to be wise. But to me, wisdom feels like an old person, like sitting on a rock or something. And this is a different kind of wisdom. This is, I think, a wisdom that is, I always say like sexy, because it is. It makes you interesting. It makes people want to talk to you. It makes you have something to contribute, but it creates a story for you. It's building up your life. It really is giving you just some building blocks, and it's going to give you a new direction if that's what you want. And the Seven of Wands, this is you fighting. You've worked for this. Whether you realize it or not, you have worked for this. And I think things have been like coming at you and you're just like, I'm uninspired. I don't want to deal with this. But you've remained strong. You've remained solid. I don't think like you've got these vices that are taking hold of you. I just think you're in a very strong place mentally and physically. Really. And yeah, this is like a message here. Like just know that even if you're relatively uninspired at this moment, you're in a very strong place mentally and physically. And I also think this is a message to probably like be grateful for this time, because as a result of being in this space that you're holding right now, you are going to be able to explore. You're going to be able to take in some pretty cool experiences. And I do think if you leave yourself open for some messages from your spirit guides in whatever form they come to you, be it like dreams or visions or tarot readings or just something you see in a movie or a book or something, like you are going to you're going to be hit with some things that are going to guide you and move you. And King of Cups, I think emotionally, I think you're feeling a lot, but you're in control of your emotions. You're just in a very, very stable place. Again, that doesn't mean right now that things are like amazing and exciting and everything's clicking. It just means that things are unfolding in a very stable way. But I think you're going to get into more excitement, and I don't want to say less stability with like a negative or like a scary way, but just in a way that is exciting, in a way that you would explore. And the word on here for West is completion, which is kind of like not exactly in sync with exploration, but I do feel like there's this missing puzzle piece for you. And with that, I think you're going to find something in your life that's missing. And just to throw it out there, this could be a partner. This could be rescuing an animal that just is, the best pet you could ever want. It could be something you want to study, a career you want to pursue, or just like a religion or a practice or a thing that really was needed in your life. So I see that. I see that you're definitely going to get this. You're going to find this missing puzzle piece, and it's going to bring a lot. So, yeah, the wisdom card to me is there's very much exploration. This is to me a whole world beneath the surface, a whole world beneath the surface of you, a whole world like I could say so many cheesy things right now, but I really do feel like this is something that's been right in front of you and you're just now ready to explore it. And almost like Spirit is going to open up like a portal for you that you never saw before, and you're going to just kind of, now it's your turn. Like now you see this door. It's always been there, or maybe it hasn't always been there. Maybe it's just been presented to you because you're just now ready for it. One or the other. Either way, it represents something that's like, this is your time to really go for something different and learn something new. And yeah, and this is good. I mean, this is, gosh, I'm like so out of breath. I don't know why. This is good for you. This is a very uplifting, it's like this excited, unknown, but very positive message. So, okay, I want to see, let's just ask Spirit for a message. I mean, what's a message she has for you, pile one, that she can, I always say she, because Spirit to me is a she, that she can impart. Okay, so we've got Two of Cups, and this might be like a hang in there, look forward to this kind of theme, because it definitely has that feeling for it. Okay, wow, Two of Cups, Two of Wands, Queen of Swords, and we've got the Queen of Swords under the King of Cups. So we've got, oh, I was going to say, well, no, it's wrong. Okay, the Two of Cups is sweet. It's hard to see this card and not think of like a romantic connection. Whatever this romantic connection is, I don't think this reading is necessarily about romance. It doesn't mean that on this journey you might find the love of your life. You might find the person you're supposed to be with. You might find that you're in a relationship now and this relationship gets taken to new heights because of this journey, or perhaps you're in a relationship now and it ends because this isn't your person. I don't know. These are all options, but there's something here to make me think you are going to find a very strong and real connection with, I'd like to think a romantic partner. That's the implication, and that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, and this is always exciting. But if that doesn't speak to you right now, if you've had it with romantic partners and this reading has nothing to do with romance, and this is about you growing you and you doing you and you finding something that like puts a whole new trajectory on your world and life and direction, then there is something to do with like really stepping into a confident emotional space. And also that is very strong in the King of Cups. Two of Wands, this to me is very much an adventure. This is a setting out to explore. There is like this message here of you're stepping out. You're going to be opening your front door and seeing something new for the first time. You're going to be like, you know, like going underwater and exploring a whole new world. And it is going to be, I think you're going to have to look out for things. I think you're going to have to like, you're going to learn new things, but this is your adventure. It's you looking for this missing puzzle piece, and you're going to find it. This is your one, not one, you might have 5 of these moments in your life, but I don't think they come around very often. And I just think that this is your time right now for this. And the Queen of Swords, it's like you're on your quest for truth. You're on your quest for information, for wisdom, for guidance. And it's going, you know, it's like, this is your mind expanding. You're going to be taking things in that you never saw before. And again, like this could be a journey you set out on, an actual adventure, or it literally could just be you opening your front door and being like, I see things differently. And maybe because of that, you're like, I don't want to live here anymore. I don't want this job anymore. I don't want this relationship anymore. I don't want this, I don't know, like front porch anymore. Like it could be you switching up and changing everything, or it could be you not changing your physical environment, but like mentally you're processing everything differently, and as a result your life is going to move in a different direction. And this is good. It's going to bring happiness, sadness, all the emotions, but you're going to feel them, you're going to embrace them, you're going to be ready for them, you're going to want them. It really is a very, very exciting, to me this is like a very exciting message. And if you picked this pile, I mean, I don't know what the other piles are going to bring. I really don't, but I think this is unique and I think it's special, and I hope you hear it, and I hope you want to hear it, and I hope you feel also that you're ready for this. And you know, like if you do have pains or ailments, which so many of us do, maybe the message is like you can stop if you put less energy into that. you are ready for more. There's more to this world than like that thing that gets your goat, or that pain. And I mean, it can mean so many things. So I don't want to downplay it or minimize it, but it is a message that there's a lot more out here for you and a lot more opportunity to come your way. Okay, I want to see you in the near future once you kind of step into this energy. I really do want to see what this looks like and what you kind of like, what do you have to look forward to? So awakening, Three of Swords, and the Moon. Okay, so this is, to me, this is a very powerful message of, I wouldn't say this message is particularly sexy, but I will say this, it does carry a deep meaning. It very much has this like, this is the equivalent of the Judgment card, the Moon, and the Three of Swords. So I do feel like your heart is going to be like, you're going to feel new things. This is you seeing things and feeling things very differently. This is your mind and body working together in a way you couldn't have imagined. And this could be a way of overcoming. This is like, you can turn things into self-fulfilling prophecies for better or worse. But I do think you're going to step into a time of like, you can start manifesting. You can start really taking control of your environment, your thoughts. You can turn your thoughts into the right, like words and actions and feelings and emotions. You can really start to be the person you want to be and live the life you want to live. And with this, just saying that out loud makes me think, okay, so we go to wisdom, we go to this like hidden, you're going to find this missing puzzle piece. Maybe this is a message of like, if you start manifesting, if you start learning some secrets of the universe, and this, it sounds cheesy, but I don't know, maybe you read a book on alchemy and you learn something. Maybe you really do learn how to like meditate and manifest and do things in a way that you've never tried before. Maybe you always dismiss them as like silly or hokey or something that like people just post about on Bumble, but like you actually give it a try and you're like, oh my God, it worked. And I will say this, I do have a friend, and if she's watching this, she knows who she is. She can manifest. I will hand it to her. This woman can manifest, and shout out to her because she definitely has put the time in, the energy, the work. She's very smart and very hardworking, so she knows how to do these things, but she's manifested a lot. And I truly believe that if you follow the guidelines of how to do this, you can make things happen in your world. And there's more to it, and I think there's other rules of the universe that you have to follow, and they don't just fall into your lap. But if you find the formula, you can make it happen. And this is a lot of this to me is in this line here. I think you're going to see things differently. I think you're going to evaluate your world, your life, your actions. I think you're going to just, you're gonna see things and you're gonna process things differently. And this is gonna work for you. And I do want to go back to this Uruz card, because this is someone who is strong and fit and healthy. This is the card of like the ox in runes. It is very much, there's a creativity piece to this. It is someone who, like, their life is, the world is their ocean, right? Or the world is your oyster. Oh my God. They're taking advantage of everything. Any little good thing that comes to them, they're in a good way, kind of like exploiting it. There's a lot of strength here, a lot of brute force, a lot of willpower, a lot of determination. And I think this is a message to use that, apply that, and also look for this, like, this doorway, this secret gift that I think Spirit wants to show you, and you are going to find something very exciting and new and refreshing, and it's going to bring a lot of goodness, and I think it's waiting there for you. So dare I turn over another card? I think I'm going to leave the reading here, and It's funny because I definitely think I get out of breath when I have a good reading. So I like am so breathy right now. It's ridiculous. But I do think this is a really interesting message. So, okay, yeah, if this interested you at all, if it spoke to you, please, I'll just repeat the please subscribe, like, comment, or do all three. Just any way you want to help me out and get me noticed, / monetized. I would greatly appreciate it. So I hope to see you again. I hope you like this and have a great day, night, evening, morning. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Tarot. Thank you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for being here and for listening to my channel. We are doing a reading for an urgent message from your spirit guides. So I'm into this reading. I'm feeling it. I think we're off to like a great start. And your oracle card is Enlightenment that you picked, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But your rune card is Feu, and I feel something exciting for you. In the form of like prosperity, but then I also feel this message of like, I don't want to say enlightenment because that's literally the word on the card and that's intense. We all strive to reach enlightenment, or enlightenment is something some people strive to reach. But I feel like you're going to see things differently. Something's going to kind of shift for you. You are going to see things differently. But with that, I actually think you have some fortune in a way, something very fortunate coming your way. And we're going to get into this sort of enlightenment piece and the fortune, but just talking about these two cards, the Feu, and I'm going to open my book because it's a very strong message of like wealth, material possessions, success in business. And just looking at this card, it's, you know, it's a little bit of everything. It's like, you know, the beautiful woman with this amazing outfit, lobster on her plate, champagne, perfect little dog, you know, in this pool or mansion. There's like, you could go on and on. There's so many details in this card that although they're like surface level things, they still imply that someone's life is going pretty well. So I either want to say things are going very well for you right now, and that's great, and you can probably look forward to more of this, or this is something you can look forward to. Either way, it's a very good and exciting message, and honestly one that we would all be very fortunate to get. And this card is slightly deeper, and this is the card, this is an interesting combination because this is where the depth comes in. This is where your message becomes more than just like, oh yeah, I think you should buy a lottery ticket, or like, oh yeah, you might get that promotion. There's something here to say like you're going to appreciate this on different levels. And I'm gonna say, like, I'm not saying you're trivial or surface in any way, but sometimes I think if everything in our life is clicking and we've got, I'll say all the things we want, but most of the things we want, if it's just kind of like we write a list and then we get the things we want and then we look better and we feel good and then I don't know, like everything starts to kind of work out. I do think that you can kind of slip into a almost trivial mindset. And this is a message that like, you're going to experience some depth here, or people are going to start to see you as being a more like plugged in person. There's a message here that is a combination of things are actually going to look and feel very good for you. You've got some success, you've got some from a material standpoint, things are nice for you. But also this isn't trivial and you're going to actually appreciate it, or the message here is you need to start appreciating it. So we're just, you know, those are mixed messages, but very unique to the last pile. So you are here for a reason, pile 2. Okay, and I like if you picked enlightenment because it is one of those messages that isn't necessarily like sexy or enticing, because like what does enlightenment even look like? What does it feel like? Like who really knows? But if you think about it, I mean, all the sort of like holy, I don't know, beings, all the humans that had the potential of being enlightened were supposedly very, very subliminally happy. And I guess it didn't matter to them what they looked like. They felt amazing. And I don't know, I just feel like there's a message here. All right, I want to get 2 of these kind of mood cards, and we're going to figure out how these are going to play up. Interesting. So these are both, I mean, we've got dark colors. We've got fear and protection. So because these have a slightly darker cast to them, I feel like, and I can get a little bit more into this when I turn over some tarot, but I do think that like money, beauty, I will say physical appearances, I do think they're pretty important to you. I do think that this is something that you put a lot of emphasis on, you invest a lot into. They're important to you. And that's not bad. They're honestly important to me too. Like I am not, in this regard, I am pretty far away, as everyone is, but I'm even further away from being enlightened, because it is, and if you listen to some of my readings, I do tend to bring things back to like how things look, and I can't help it. It's sort of like my own cross to bear. Like I want everything to look good. I want everyone to feel good and look good, but there's always this part of me that's like, well, how do I look? Like what do they think of when they see me, or whatever? Like even, so where am I going with this? Okay, I do think you have this piece as well, where you want to present an image of things, I don't know, just of things looking good. And why that is, I do think there's a fear there, and I do think that it's a way of like self-preservation. And the self-preservation is probably that of like pushing off an inevitable aging process that humans definitely go through, whether you want to or not. It could be that, I think ultimately comes down to a fear of death, a fear of aging, a fear of like becoming irrelevant. I think there's this message is not going to be dark for more than 10 seconds, so just bear with me. I do think that these might lurk in the back of your mind. However, enlightenment, what little bit I know about it, I feel like this doesn't really come into their consciousness. This isn't a fear. Someone who's enlightened or someone who's working towards that would really work hard to push this out. So this message from Spirit, in this very like, without even putting tarot down, I do think you're killing it, or you're about to kill it. I think things are working for you. I think you're beautiful on the outside, and I think you're probably beautiful on the inside. I really want you to strive as hard as possible to be beautiful on the inside. I think this is very much a message, and I think it is about appreciating things. It's about realizing there's so much more beneath the surface, that there's so much unseen and unknown about you, that this, if there's an emphasis too much on, and it's not just looks. I don't ever mean to focus on just that. It's that whole package of like, I look successful. I look like I've got it all. I have the nicest this, the nicest that, the cleanest this, the cleanest that. Like, I just feel like there's this constant, how do other people perceive me? When I think a lot of it, A, other people don't even notice. And B, it's not necessarily building you up on the inside, which is, I think, a message here. There's a confidence that needs to come from within. And I think there's this fear and this protection piece that you're going to not worry so much about or think about. And this could even be subconscious. And if it is, bringing it to your consciousness is not really where I intended this reading to go, because this reading isn't about, we're not diving into like your fear of death or mortality. But I do think, I don't know, I think there's a message here. So let's get into this a little bit. Let's ask Spirit, what's the message here, Spirit? Like, really, what message are you sending? And I want to see this. Okay, so we have Ace of Swords, Four of Cups, Eight of Wands. Okay, I'm going to put a card over here, Queen of Swords. Okay, so asking Spirit, what's this somewhat convoluted message that does have a purpose. It's here for a reason. Did that card just like move on its own? That was weird. So I do think that Spirit wants to acknowledge that you are very strong of mind. You're tough. You know yourself. You're a bad bitch. I think you're all those things. But I do think that a new mindset, an introduction to a new way of like thinking, and as a result feeling, might be coming your way. And I could say that perhaps you are ever so slightly apathetic or unappreciative at this time. There may be a sense of like, maybe gratitude isn't your biggest practice. Maybe you even know that you might be lacking gratitude. You might not be acknowledging all the things that are good in your life. You might be focusing too much on the material or the aesthetic or the part that just like brings that instant hit, that little shiny object syndrome. I think there's a part of you that might be missing the big picture. And which means if you picked this pile, well, you picked this pile, it means you kind of know this and you suspect this. And there's something like, these are so contrasting, these messages, that the real like gift from spirit lies somewhere in between, like finding your balance with these two things, these two extremes of having everything, having this seemingly perfect or possibly practically perfect life, and also being like a very insightful person with depth and consistency and inner goodness, inner knowledge, inner love, inner light, those things as well. And the Eight of Wands is this action of like, to me, going after what you like you fought for it. The Wands cards leading up to this, you've fought for what you want, you've been rewarded for what you want, you've worked hard, and now you're continuing to go after something. Like the journey isn't over for you. There's even more journey ahead of you right now. And this to me is like maybe a message of, it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop with having these material possessions. There's more work you have to do. And in saying that, I do think this is a little bit of a message from spirit that there's work you have to do on the inside to, I don't know, like address this fear, address maybe this preoccupation with things looking and feeling a certain way, or images, this kind of like idyllic, I don't know, not necessarily facade, but like image. I don't know. There's something about appreciation and about gratitude and about okay, so we're gonna stop talking about that, and we're gonna move on to just like, again, we're gonna get into a message, but I'm not gonna harp on that anymore because it's definitely been said by me enough. But I like seeing you as the Queen of Swords, because this is someone who is strong of mind. Okay, the Queen of Swords is, and this is, you are smart. I do think you've built something for yourself. I think you're very capable. I think you're very strong, which tells me that you can achieve as much more success or accomplishment, monetary possessions, like monetary gain, possessions. You can get whatever you want because your mind is so sharp. You can also find within your mind the place to feel like secure and strong and confident and abandon these fears and feel safe and protected. This is all within your mind as well. And I do think there's this, almost like you're about to get hit with this kind of spiritual journey in a way. Like there's going to be this spiritual piece that I think hits you. And if that isn't exciting, because I get that isn't this crazy exciting message, it's a message all the same. And I don't know, maybe you listen to tarot readings on YouTube all the time. Maybe I'm one of the first. Maybe you found this by accident. I don't know. But like, even this is a world to me of like spiritual insight that starts to allow you to be like guided towards just some kind of spiritual connection, whatever that is for you. I mean, it could be like just having more plants in your home. It could be stepping out into nature more. It could be like reading books on things that, like, for example, alchemy or astrology, like whatever it is. There's just, you're about to discover more. Okay. I really think that's the case. And I feel like, you know, I can almost picture someone who's on vacation, like this woman. Let's say this is her home, this is her vacation, whatever it is, like things are so good for her. And I almost feel like this woman's about to like lay in a sun chair and pick up a book or read a random article, and it's going to be on something so out of what is it, left field. And she's going to be like, holy shit, I never thought about this. Like, this isn't something that's ever crossed my mind. You mean people like go in sweat lodges and like hallucinate, and then they feel like reborn or something. Like it's just something you're about to discover, another way of doing things, another way of thinking, another practice. Something's going to be hitting you spiritually, but it's going to make you stronger, smarter, more plugged in. If you are at all apathetic right now in any regard, maybe it's going to help with that. And for me, the apathy piece is like, okay, so like bottles of champagne. Champagne to me is like, it's exciting. If I open a bottle of like real French champagne, it doesn't happen that often. I mean, even opening like California sparkling doesn't really happen that often. But like for me, champagne is like a special occasion. But if I had a ton of money, I'm pretty sure I would buy bottles of champagne from Whole Foods on the regs. Like I would just go there and be like, oh, sure, yeah, here's a $50 bottle of like, I don't know, Moet Chandon or Moet Chandon, I don't know. But like, it wouldn't become special anymore. And there's a chance that maybe things to you that felt really special and exciting at one point aren't quite having the same impact. So there is a piece of that, and it would feel good to have these things excite you again. And maybe you take your health for granted. Maybe you take certain things for granted, the people in your life, the fact, I don't know, but there is definitely a message here of like gratitude. And with that, I do think like this, if there is any fear around your mortality or death, or trying to like look or maintain, a certain age or youthfulness, I don't know. It's definitely, there's going to be something new hitting you, and you're going to be open to it. So just know that you'll be open to it. You'll receive this very well. And maybe it's already starting to come to you. Maybe enlightenment is not the card I would have selected because it's so overwhelming to me. Like enlightenment, like that's not a sexy journey. Like what does that even look like? But I do think it's sexy. I do think it's fascinating, and there's depth there, and it's interesting, and it's your path right now. You're going to be working towards, you don't have to work towards being enlightened, but you have to try to understand a little bit about what people who seek to be enlightened, what their quest looks like. What does that even look like? Like, let's pretend you wanted to be enlightened. What the hell would even what would you do? How would you think? What would some of the practices be? So I don't know but this will definitely help with apathy, and this will help like just a certain level of happiness that maybe you aren't getting on the daily would come to you. Okay, so I'm going to do another line of tarot here, and I want to see you in the near future. If you take this on in whatever way, if this message from your guides hits you, what does your near future look like? Okay, so we've got Six of Pentacles, the Hanged One, which is the Hangman, and Three of Swords. So the Hangman, and they call it the Hanged One here because they don't want to assign a sex to it, which is great. I cannot even make this picture out, but I love this tarot deck. I think it's a bird upside down. I haven't seen every card in this deck, and I don't think I've pulled this one. I do think there's going to be another level of like, I just want to say stillness coming your way. I think, and the Three of Swords in other decks is like a heartbreak kind of, but for you in this deck, it's different. They have a different meaning for the Three of Swords. It's kind of like almost messages where your heart and your brain get to work together, where your heart and your head get to kind of try to solve a problem versus your heart taking over and your heart breaking and your mind taking over, or vice versa. This isn't the card of heartbreak. This is a card of like, you're going to work with your heart to get to the bottom of a problem, to figure something out, to solve something. There's no heartbreak here. There's a lot of mind. And I think you're going to be thinking about things very differently. You're going to be feeling things differently. I think things that bummed you out before, hurt you or scared you, quite frankly, you're going to approach them differently, and they're I just think you're going to have this like mental kind of shift. There's going to be a clarity. You're going to be, probably sitting in your feels a little bit, but there's going to be this depth. I really do see that. And this card here, the Six of Pentacles, this does make me think of like that gratitude piece, that part of you that is going to have so much, I don't want to say more substance, because I'm not saying you lack that now, even though I guess I did spend the whole beginning of this reading saying that in one form or another. I don't know you, and if there's substance that is lacking, this can be so relative. That doesn't mean that you on a whole lack substance. It could mean that like maybe you think you do, or maybe you're afraid you could, or that you might start to. It doesn't mean that like you are shallow, you are surface, you are without substance or depth. It absolutely doesn't mean that, but we don't ever want to get to a point where we are seen as trivial. We don't, trust me, you don't. I don't feel like my life has taken on a direction where I've like achieved so much and I have so much and I look a certain way that this is an actual fear of mine. But if I started to like step into that territory, I would be afraid of that. And something tells me that you have accomplished so much and you're seen a certain way and you project a certain image, that this could be a real fear for you. But anyway, this to me is very much like a card of gratitude, giving, receiving. And I think things are going to slow down for you in a way that is truly needed, and truly, truly beautiful. I really see like a very beautiful shift, ever so slight. It doesn't mean you're going to leave your whole world. You're still like, you're smart, you're strong. If making money and like running a business or having your own business or doing your own thing is your jam, then that will remain your jam. You're not going to stop doing that. You're not going to stop making money. You're not going to stop getting Botox if you don't want to. Like, that's not the message. The message is like, just process things differently. Think about it differently. Put different emphasis and different weight. Just attach a different amount of like gratification on certain things, I guess. Okay, so you are... I think you're strong. I think you're successful. And I think you're onto something. And Spirit definitely has a message for you that you're going, if you open your eyes and you look for this, you're going to see things differently. And it's good and it's needed. And I'm trying to think, like, I just want some guidance and like good luck charm from Spirit. So let's get some guidance and like a good luck piece. So we have 5 of Swords. And good luck, 10 of Swords. Okay, so it's funny. You got the 2 cards in this deck, the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords, which have different meanings in a good way from the other general, like Rider-Waite-Smith. And I apply those meanings when I read with this deck. So the 5 of Swords to me as like input from Spirit is just keep being fair, keep being good, strive, I think, towards being as honest and fair as possible. Like, apply the golden rule whenever possible, treat others as you want to be treated. This is very much like just a message here of goodness and kindness. And I think as a result of that, you'll get what you give, kind of thing. So there is a message there. And then input from Spirit, kind of a gift. The 10 of Swords here is like, you're going to get some wisdom. There's going to be something truly that you're going to learn or gain from this, and it's going to pay off. So, it's almost unfortunate that I asked this question at the very end, because I don't know how many people see my readings through to the end. Like, I'm not one of the, most watched tarot readers on YouTube right now. So I guess my point is, to me, this message is really beautiful and very real, and it does say very clearly, you are going to get something out of this. There is something that, like, your mind, your heart, your soul, like, you're going to get a lot of wisdom, and you're going to either, you can turn this into a way to make more money, a way to be happier, a way to help others, whatever it is that you want, wherever this journey takes you and whatever you want, you're going to get it. I mean, this is a man, like, locking eyes with the devil, and it's almost like they're exchanging the highest level of information here and guidance and wisdom and, you know, enlightenment. I just feel like this is a very, very almost like sacred, beautiful message. And this is Spirit's message to you. So if it took us the whole reading to get to this, I'm okay with that. If I harped on all these other details that were probably like not something you wanted to hear, not what you came here for, and you stuck it out, thank you very much. I love you for that. This is your message. So yeah, take it in and look for this message however it comes to you. It may come to you in, I don't know, somewhere your eyes land. It could be a sentence, a word, a paragraph, a picture. I don't know, but you're going to get hit with something, and then it's going to be your path to discover and explore. And I think just remaining good and honest, definitely a message here about remaining honest, remaining true, remaining good. I think you've got a very, very like beautiful path in front of you. And okay, so fear not, you've got this really lovely message here. And I think these messages come to people who do have a lot, who really seem to be killing it. I think these are messages of like, hey, don't get off path, don't lose yourself, stick with it, like do the right thing. It's just one of those messages to people who already seem to have a lot of luck and a lot of prosperity. So, okay, this is your message from Spirit. Okay, from your Spirit guides. Awesome. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment. Would love to hear it. And I will see you soon. Goodbye. It's Enlightened Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. We are doing a reading for an urgent message from your Spirit guides. And before I start my reading, I will ask you if any part of this resonates with you, if you like it, please subscribe. I'm trying desperately to get monetized, and I desperately need subscribers. So if you would do that, it would mean everything. And if you care to like and comment, that would also be huge. So thank you. Okay, your Oracle card is flexibility, and your rune card is the Gauze. And this definitely, to me, carries a message of prosperity or success coming your way. And this is not a message that I take lightly. This is not something that I like tend to see a ton of in the cards, but these two cards together really, really make me feel like this. So the flexibility Oracle card is beautiful. There's a tiger at the end of this like bamboo archway. There's these like neon colors of life, and it's just an incredibly beautiful card. But the bamboo, there's prosperity, it's growth, it's prosperity, it's luck, it's very much like tremendous, tremendous abundance. And the flexibility piece is like you working this, you finessing this, you finagling this, you doing whatever you need to do to get ahead and be successful. Not in a like necessarily cutthroat, unpleasant way, but in a like you'll work your tail off. Or you have worked your tail off. There's just a message of abundance. And when I read about this Oracle card, the flexibility piece really talks to like how bamboo can bend and not break, and how it can grow so much, and it can take on all these different environments like heat, moisture, dry, snow, you name it, and it still remains strong and it still thrives. And that's kind of the message of abundance, like you're thriving, or you're going to very quickly enter a point where you will indeed be thriving. And the Gauze card is a card of it's like the dawn of a new day, but with it brings luck and prosperity. It's very much the card of like daylight, hope, self-improvement, a new awakening, breakthroughs, transformations, but also with a message of success. Like with all this newness, with this change, it's like everything's changing for the better. It's a card of beautiful newness. It's the dawn of a new day, and you want this day. It's a beautiful new day. And yeah, so I do see abundance on your horizon. I'm going to get these two Oracle cards that they have messages, and I think they connect to chakras. So let's just see flow and the color. Love the color scheme there. And I'm going to put this here this is frustration. So perhaps you have been feeling frustrated. Perhaps you have been feeling like you've been working your tail off. Like you've been incredibly flexible. Like you've been going with the flow. You've been doing everything you can. You've been working so hard, and yet you haven't quite achieved what you want to. Then you're here as a message to say, look, you're going to. It is actually coming your way. And I do think the flow piece here isn't so much that you've been going with the flow, although maybe you have, but it's that success and prosperity is actually going to start flowing into you. It is like water rushing over you. It is flowing, it is pouring, it is coming your way. And yes, you have been frustrated. You have felt like, this is the square peg in the round hole analogy / picture. Yes, maybe you feel like you've just been trying and nothing's happening. But your efforts are about to pay off. You're going to make a very, very clear connection very soon. And I would be excited by this. I think that, I think it's exciting. So I just look at this because this would be so welcome. It would be such a welcome message to someone who's been working on their own endeavor, who maybe left their work to start something new, who's, in any sort of like entrepreneurial space, maybe someone who just finished school. I just think there's a very strong message here. So I want to see, I'll take that card. I want to see you right now in your space, just to kind of, so we can gauge a bit about where you're headed. So where are you right now? So we have Knight of Cups. We have the Hermit. And we have the Star. Okay. The Knight of Cups, there is this kind of romanticism to this card. There is this, you know what you want. You're not necessarily dreaming about it. I think you're actually working towards it, but you know what you want. You could wax poetic on this all day. You're a dreamer. You're wishing for this. You're wanting this with every fiber of your being. So you know what this message is. You absolutely know what this is. However, the Hermit tells me that not only do you want it, not only do you dream about it, not only do you work towards it, journal about it, whatever it is, you're like meditating on it. You're consciously going after this. You are applying all the like rules of the universe to get what you want, meaning like not only are you working towards it, you're consciously putting time and attention and love and energy towards it. This is something that you're plotting, you're feeling, you're thinking about. It's really like it's your project, it's your baby, it's your lifeline. This is you, and you are going to get it. This is your message. This is an urgent message from your spirit guides. So maybe this frustration you have is bordering on discouragement, which is a very yucky place to be. It's one thing to be frustrated. It's a whole other to be discouraged, because when we're discouraged, I feel like we stop actually putting the work in. We stop working as hard. It's a negative energy, and it can seep in and it can stay there. So an absolute message would be, don't be discouraged. Truly don't be discouraged. There is a flow of abundance, of energy, of vibrational goodness coming your way. It's there, and it is there. It knows what you want. It knows what you're working hard towards. This isn't just like a pipe dream for you. It really is happening. And you have shown great like flexibility, great tenacity, great, you've put a lot into this. So yeah, it is. I mean, it's like a little good luck charm of a message, and it's your message. It's meant to find you. You're here for a reason. So I want to see you. I want to ask Spirit exactly, and then I'll see you in the very near future. But I want to ask Spirit exactly what's her message to you. Like, what is the message? Input. What does she have for you? So we have Two of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Queen of Swords. Okay. So the two queens. I mean, queens are I just love the expression bad bitch, and especially like where pop culture's gone with it. Like everything about just not forgetting that you're a bad bitch and like maintaining that energy is everything. And the queens, even in like the most like holy tarot decks, I still feel like the queens are always bad bitches. And I'll move this out of the light a little bit. They are. And to me, this is like, look, Spirit's message for you is you're strong of mind. You are sharp, you are strong, you are courageous, you're honest, you're good. I just think it's just that, stick with it, hold tight, do not give up. Don't let your mind start to wander. Don't get discouraged. Don't let your mind, like your heart and your mind, don't let I don't know which one would win in this case, but don't give up. Oh my gosh. Don't give in to discouraging thoughts, okay? Very much stay strong. And it might take everything you have, but really this goodness, this abundance, it really is coming your way. Queen of Wands, the wands are action, they're fire, they're passion, but this is like, stay your course, stick with it, do everything that's needed. Because there is this almost like protect this, work towards it, do not give up on it. It is going to pay off. And the Two of Wands, you might feel lost right now. You might not know exactly what to do. You might not know where to turn. You might feel like you're just out on this barren plateau and you're like, what the fuck is happening? Like I thought I knew exactly what to do. I thought there was like this, I hate to speak like too much of metaphors, but like, this path in front of me and I was just going to follow it and things were going to click. And I don't know. I know the message is that just stay the course and you're going to be fine, but absolutely action is still required of you. And maybe you got a glimpse of something really good. Like maybe you had a little peek and then something fell off, or you didn't make the amount you thought you were going to make, or it didn't bring as much success or followers or subscribers or whatever, like as you thought or hoped. And now, you were like, oh my God, was that it? Was that my shot? And that's as good as it's going to get? Absolutely not. There's so much more, but you really, just stick with it. And it is that flexibility. I think whatever you're doing does require you to be flexible, like to show that there are different seasons you're going to have to weather, different moods, different environments, different scenarios, and that you will have to weather and endure and work through. And I just see a lot coming to you in this way. But the message here, it almost doesn't need a whole lot of explaining, because it's almost like this, the urgency is in telling you not to give up and to see this through. So let's, and I'll tell you, if you stick with my readings till the end, this isn't like a hook, but really, I always tend to get a couple very clear and concise messages that come through in the end. I don't know if it's like the questions I ask in the end, they're better, but I'll end the reading when I think it's time, and I try not to go over 20 minutes, and right now we're barely 12, so I'll probably end this soon, but let's see it through and see if there's like another very clear message that does come through. But I want to ask Spirit to see you in like the very near future, when things really start to feel very good for you. Let's see what that looks like and how you feel, and just get some input there. So we have Ace of Swords, Six of Cups, and the High Priestess. So I think not only are you going to be doing what you're doing now, but there's even like a new idea or a new little piece you can tack onto this. And that piece is probably going to have more earning potential, more ability to garnish more of whatever it is that you want and need or trying to grow. But I do think that there's even another piece you're going to be able to tack onto this. It could be like another partnership or another something, but I think it's some creation of yours that you're going to be able to apply. So whatever that means. But it's a very good message. In other words, you're just going to be continued to grow. You're going to get continued inspiration. You're going to be more inspired, and more is going to come to you. And that is very good. And the Six of Cups, this deck has a slightly different meaning than the traditional decks for the Six of Cups. But this is like, to me, this is about like fond memories and like thinking back to like what really made you happy, which is kind of similar to the other decks. But I think you're going to have this like, something's going to be shown to you. You're going to have this almost like vision, or you're going to see, it's going to be very clear to you what you need to do and what's best for your future. And again, that might be taking things in, I'm not a different direction, but tacking on another direction or another piece or another facet. There's going to be something that you're going to like, once things start clicking and rolling, which I think will be very soon, you're going to be able to even add to this, and you're going to have a pretty clear like vision for the future of your space. And by that, I mean, this is your career path. This is your money. This is your lifeline in a lot of ways. And you're going to be growing it. You're going to be like the mastermind. You're going to be in control of it, in other words. And I see that control. I see that security. I see that like, this is your baby that you are nurturing and bringing up and controlling in a good way. Because the word control is funny. But okay, and the High Priestess, there are things you can't even imagine now that are going to be revealed to you, that you're going to experience, that you're going to see, feel, and there can be so much here. I mean, this can be like, there's a message here to me about like love and partnerships, and like romantic love. And I don't know, maybe you, through this work or this venture, this idea, this path, whatever it is, this elaborate hobby that you turn into a way to make money, I'm not sure, but like there's something here to make me think there could be love for you in this. I don't know, it could be in this actual industry or niche, or it could be while pursuing this, you meet that person. But I definitely see something about love here. And, you know, the High Priestess is, there's mystery here, but there's this all-knowing kind of entity here. She's very, she holds the secrets of the universe. She has all the balance and all the wisdom of the universe, the good, the bad, the otherwise, the ugly, the beautiful. It's all here. There's all these symbols of like moons and consciousness and subconsciousness, and there's a lot here, but it's secrets that I don't think Spirit is ready to reveal. But once these parts of your life start clicking and start working for you, you're gonna see, I think there's gonna be some gifts coming your way, and I see it in the form of love and relationships. So that's a very powerful message that, I mean, aren't you glad you stuck around for those minutes? Yeah, and I am going to, let me see if I want to pull another card for fun, but I almost don't think I do, because this is a very unique reading for me, because it's so positive. Like, I don't think I have a single warning card on the table, like, this is all positive. And I don't know if you thought by choosing the flexibility card that it would have brought you here, but it did. And again, I rarely see readings that are so over the top, like multiple positive messages, but this is it. So something tells me you've worked very hard for this, and you've earned this. I hate to use the word deserve, because that's like a funny word to me, but I think you've earned this at the very least. This is a space you're supposed to step into. This is your place, and just look, see it through this time of frustration if you're there right now, or if you've just broken through that. There's really more coming. There's a lot coming. So yeah, and then finally we get that final message of like love in the way that you want it, relationships, and something like exciting, just something real, something tangible and real coming your way in the form of love and romance. So, okay, I am going to wrap this reading up for you here. I mean, if you're still watching, please, if you haven't subscribed or liked or commented, please do that. I'd love to hear it. And let me know if this tracks. Let me know that you picked pile 2 and you're feeling it. So, okay, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye. Or, oh my God, pile 3. Sorry. Bye. Hello, this is Enlightenment Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and for letting me read for you. This reading is called An Urgent Message from Your Spirit Guides. This is pile 4. So you are here because you picked the card with patience on it, which is basically a crane in the fog, whether you realize that or not. And Okay, I'm going to talk about that in 1 second, because already just off of this card, I have a feeling that this has to do with relationships. And honestly, I have no idea why, because a crane in the fog to me doesn't necessarily make me think of love, but there is something here about love, passion, enduring, patience. Okay, so let's now turn over your rune card, which is Wunjo. Okay, and this, oh my goodness, excuse me. This card is about, basically it's happiness, it's joy, it's pleasure. It's also about like remaining optimistic, enduring obstacles and setbacks, excuse me. It is a very happy card. I also think there's a message here about like, I don't want to say all that glitters isn't gold, because that's not entirely it, but I think there's something here about like, look for happiness when things aren't also good and great and amazing. Because this is this is obviously right here, a card of bliss. Like you look at this and this person is happy, they're dancing, they have like this full moon, you know, bouncing on their heads. There's so much like happiness and joy, but I think the message here is be happy, even when things aren't completely over the top shining. And I don't know why. I really don't know why this makes me think of love. This makes me think of a relationship, but in a way that is slightly different than most readings about relationships go, because I don't usually come through with a message of like enduring a relationship, loving a relationship or a partner even when things aren't great, because that to me is like, oh, if things aren't great or if you're not feeling your partner, why would I, not like it's my advice to you, but why would I present the message of like, just be patient, endure, see what's coming up. But for some reason, it's the message I'm getting here. So I'm going to go with that. And again, it's an odd message to me, and very much like not of the norm, but this to me is going to be a reading about love or relationships. I do think it's going to primarily be of the romantic kind. However, it could be if there's another relationship that you're dealing with, like with a friend or a family member, or maybe like a friend or family member of someone you're in a relationship with, that's also on the table. But yeah, this is a message of relationships in whatever way you're engaged or related to this person. Okay, let me get these two Oracle, oh my gosh, chakra cards, and see where we're at here. So look, we've got trust and we've got hunger. Again, the trust, it's funny. This to me is like trust your gut, trust the timing, trust your heart. The messages that your heart is sending you, trust it. And you know what? I feel like you are being told to be patient. And there's something about the blue in this crane. I think this is crane. I'm sure it's a crane. Stork, crane, not sure. In their wings that matches this, like the blue of this card. There's something harmonious here. There's something beautiful. There's something that tells me be patient and trust in that message to be patient and to wait and to not rush things. And the hunger, I'm going to put here, I do think this is that hunger for lust, for joy, for love, for things to work out perfectly, for everything to feel balanced, that hunger that you feel like in your gut, like that sacral chakra, that everything working out as it's supposed to, that carnal hunger. Just be patient and just wait. And I could say like maybe you're in a relationship and you really want a proposal, you want to move in, you want the commitment, you want something of a next level. Just wait. But my message of waiting isn't like just wait so that you can see that you're not going to want to be with this person. I think it's just wait because we need to wait for the right time. We can't rush this person. We can't rush the situation. We just need to wait. So very unique message. I've never had one like this before, but the title of this reading being Urgent Message from Your Spirit Guides, I'm going to roll with it and just, yeah, and because it is so different, I'm going to ask, it's kind of like a different set of questions. And I'm just going to say, like, Spirit, this is a unique message, one that I've never gotten before. So why now? Why this? Like, why pile 4 are you getting this message? And we've got 10 of Pentacles, which is a beautiful card of like family, foundation, love, home, happiness. The Sun. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay. And Knight of Pentacles. So look, I think I've said so look twice now on your reading. I've never said so look before on a reading, and that was the second time. I almost said it again. Okay. Knight of Pentacles is absolutely a card of patience, of not rushing things, of going with the flow of nature, not forcing the hand of the universe. This is, you know, the Knight of Pentacles is the most like balanced, secure, stable of all the knights. Possibly a little boring. There's not a lot of excitement here. There's not a lot of like, I don't know, this isn't necessarily a card of passion, but it is a card of endurance, and it is a card of staying the course. It is a very kind, loving card. There's just a stability here, and just the way the knight looks at his horse. They're not running into battle. He's caring for his horse. This is what needs to be done right now to secure something, and there's like a support here. There is definitely a support, but the 10 of Pentacles and the Sun, this is like, I mean, these are 2 earth cards. This is fire, but in the most beautiful way for this message. I really think you have something beautiful that's about to unfold for you in some kind of like in some kind of a relationship. And this could carry multiple levels. This could be like, you have a partner. I don't know. There's different like levels to this goodness. So in waiting for something to do with like a romantic dynamic, even more goodness could unfold if you let this happen at its natural occurrence. I just see that like what you want in regards to building a home or a foundation, or to like increasing your stability with this person or this dynamic, I really see it unfolding. I think the beauty, your wishes, the abundance, all the things you want, they truly are coming to you. But there is, again, this message of just wait, okay? And you want it. You really do want it. And this is another reason why when it comes to you, it will be so beautiful, because there is this almost like this void right now that you're feeling. You feel good. You love this person. You care about them. You want them. You need them, whatever it is, but like you want it so bad. You're I wouldn't say you're chomping at the bit, but you know how good it could be. But there's a sort of a divine timing piece to this. Another message like this will happen when it's supposed to happen, and you need to trust that. Right now, you know, taking this patience card literally, like right now, maybe it's foggy. Maybe your person doesn't see things exactly clearly, but they will. And when they do, things will play out exactly as they should. And the message here is that you're going to be rewarded. You're going to be very happy with how this plays out. And it's almost like this message to you is to be patient, but it's also that like the message here is about someone else saying that this other person needs to figure something out. They need to come to things on their own terms, in their own timing. So I really think whoever this person is, if your mind goes somewhere, like I said, whether it's a family member, whether it's a family member or a friend of your romantic partner or person, whether it's your person, that they have something they are working through and have to figure out. I don't think this is like, this message isn't about like, so within the next decade, they're going to figure this out. No, I think this is coming to them quickly. Like we're on the brink of this. It's happening. Okay. This joy and happiness and all this, it's definitely happening. So, fear not. I really think this is coming to you quickly. And whether it takes a week or a month, I don't know, but when it comes to you, trust that that's the time it was supposed to reach you for whatever reason. You might have something going on. Okay, well, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to say, I want to see you right now, because what comfort can we give you that there's a reason why it didn't happen yesterday? So yeah, let's see you right now. We've got 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, and the Devil. Okay, so this is, I love the Nine of Pentacles. This is an absolutely great, great, great card. It's growth, it's abundance, it's goodness, it's you having the things you want and need. But then we have the devil and we have Nine of Swords. And the devil's it's not a demonic presence or anything like that. It literally just means there's something you have to work on and accomplish. There's some either vice you have to conquer. There's something you have to get past. And you know what this could be? Maybe you're still jealous about something. Maybe there's an anxiety piece here, something you need to work on, something you need to set free to really make this work. A resentment, a bitterness, a little bit of shadow work. There's something that is plaguing you, that is keeping you up, that is causing you a little distress. Okay, we're not talking about like anything major. This reading isn't about getting into like how you feel about how this person cheated on you last summer. Like that's not the reading, and I have no idea if that happened or not. I hope it didn't, but I'm just saying this isn't about digging into like these very, very, very hard depths. However, I did say and address the fact that there is something that's giving you a little, not pause, but you feel a way, okay? You're in your feels, you feel a way about something that did happen, and you need to get over that and move past that before all this beauty and harmony is gonna come your way. It's coming your way. You are going to have something beautiful and harmonious and lovely, but there's just one little piece you need to kind of squash. And again, trust in your instincts, trust in the time, follow your gut, like really just do the work here. And you're going to get what you want. And I almost feel like when I said do the work here, there's this part of me that feels like you're actually being tested a little bit. Like this is a test. Can you not rush this process? Can you not only not rush the process and sit through this period of like stagnant time, wanting more, knowing that more is coming? Can you really sit with this while doing the work on yourself and waiting for your reward and your payout? You know, it's like that dog that sits patiently and waits for its treat and actually gets the treat. It's probably the hardest thing that dog has ever done, to sit there and just stare at that treat on the table. And I feel like some people make the dog wait like a whole minute or something, which is probably like for a dog like a year. It's just like, it's that. Can you be that dog that sits and waits patiently and stares at the reward? You know it's there. You know it's coming to you. Just be good. And if you're the dog, be quiet and, you know, don't be annoying and you'll get your treat. So I'm not saying you need to be quiet and not being annoying, but I do think you need to be patient and you do need to let things unfold, and you have to work on yourself. You have to be whatever it is you have to be right now. You have to be that person that releases an anger, a resentment, a jealousy, a bitterness. If there's a little vice you need to get over, I don't know. So anyway, that is a very, very interesting message about the work you need to do. There's a message here about your person kind of searching for their divine timing, you letting it all unfold naturally. But there's so much goodness that's coming to you. So really, like, this is a really fun, exciting reading, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it, because it is, okay, so let's see, because I want to ask a question that isn't like specific, because I want to pretend there are like, 10 million people watching this, so not everyone's going to have like a jealousy issue. I just want to find out what I can ask that's going to help you right now in this moment. And let's get input from Spirit. What does Spirit want to share with you? What's her input for making this really unfold exactly the way you want it to, and to have everything work out just divinely? 7 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is not a bad message at all. It's not super exciting. To me, this is like, the 7 of Swords is, to me, don't take any shortcuts. Stay true, focus on the light, stay in the light, don't get dark in this period. I love the 7 of Swords cards in the context of like, this is that card where if you wanted to be a little sneaky or a little cheeky, you can do it. But to me right now, it has the opposite meaning, as in, look, don't do anything sneaky. Don't do even the littlest thing that might push this process along. Don't do that. Seriously, you are being tested to be as patient and good and divine as possible. And that's that little bit of light shining on your face, like always in this situation, I guess in every situation, but really pertaining to this reward out of this relationship that you want, this dynamic. Just stay in the light, okay? That is a message here. That is a gift from Spirit. The Queen of Wands, absolutely actions required. You need to work hard. You need to work at this. You need to and if we're going to bring back that dog analogy, the dog is sitting patiently. It's taking, that dog's mind is probably racing. They're shaking. They're like quivering. They want that treat so bad. I'm totally thinking of my dog. But it's like that. You can just imagine how much their mind is racing, and yet they have the self-control to hold themselves back, and it's like, I don't know, like, oh my God, I'm going to drop the dog analogy in a second. But to me, the Seven of Swords piece here would be like, if you're the dog wanting that treat, you could inch your way closer and your owner might not even notice. They're eating their meal, they're waiting till the end, and you could get 6 inches closer without them noticing. So close that you could even grab it maybe without them noticing. But once they notice, it's going to get pushed back and the whole thing's going to start over. And that's that trickery, that little thing that it's like, it's not actually going to serve you. Just do everything on the up and up. Be as honest and clear and concise. And yeah, it's just like a message of don't do anything sneaky here. And things are absolutely going to play out. But it's also that action, that intent, stay good, stay strong, keep working towards this, doing you, and just not losing sight of your goal in a way. There's I don't want your whole world to just stop if this doesn't happen in exactly 1 week, or if 2 weeks come and go and nothing's happened yet. Just know this is going to happen. And it's such a beautiful message. But there is this work about you. It's like you are being tested. How good and pure and just pure of heart can you be in this time, and how patient? And again, this patience piece, this is a big thing, because I think in this patience, not only is it asking you to sincerely wait and let someone else's path also unfold as yours is unfolding, it's a challenge for you. It's like your last hurdle. And I truly think if you get through this and you do this in the way it's supposed to happen, at the rate it's supposed to unfold, I think this is a really beautiful, dynamic partnership, relationship in front of you that's going to just reveal all the goodness. But you definitely have a piece you have to work through here as well, and you're doing it. And this is part of that challenge. Just be good, stay strong. And then the Page of Pentacles is this work towards this. You want this. This is your home. This is your future. This is your life. All the abundance, all the goodness. Look, it really is coming to you. I just said, look again. So sorry. I never say that, but I guess I have a message here. I can see it, and I'm really trying to drive it home that it is coming to you. It is a very concise message of what you want is yours if you just put the time in. And I don't think it's a lot of time, and the time and the work. So I'm going to end the reading here because I don't want to muddy it with more information. I don't want to start harping on the fact that you need to work on you, and you need to, I've brought these messages home, but I do think there's multiple people involved in this reading. There are messages meant for multiple people. One message is meant for your person, and there might even be a third party. It might be someone connected to your person. There's this web here for whatever reason. And I see that in this card, there's just this kind of, a lot of pieces need to unfold and be untangled, but it's going to happen, and it will happen exactly when it's meant to happen. So really trust in that. This is your whole message is just sit back, wait, but all the while do the good things, do the hard work, put in the time, the energy, the investment, continue to make the investment. And that's what I see in the Queen of Wands. Continue to like love. And I say honor, like, I don't mean like honor your partner or your man. I mean like honor yourself, be honorable, be a contributing piece to this dynamic and this relationship, and treat it with like love and respect, and treat it like you're the mama bear looking over the situation. That's what I get out of the Queen of Wands. So yeah, have fun with this. It's happening. Enjoy it. You're going to be doing a lot of like self-growth as well, and you're going to be stepping into a stronger, more dynamic you, which is in turn sexier and more appealing, and on the whole just more badass. So yeah, this is a great, exciting reading. Enjoy it, embrace it. Like, it's coming. Just wait. Okay, comment, subscribe, like, do whatever feels good. I wish you the best. Would love to hear about it if you pick this pile. So thank you so much. Okay, I'll end it here. Goodbye.